see what's going on, because I haven't saw the pictures of this shit. This is the Guide to the Star Wars Universe by Bill Slavinsky. So you're going to get the Star Wars trilogy. But if you want to get the encyclopedia, Guide to the Star Wars Universe. And in here they talk about the Clone Wars, as well as the stuff off of the actual internet. But this is the one, that's S-L-A-V-I-C-S-E-K. S-L-A-V-I-C-S-K. That's Bill, whatever that crap name was, whatever. The Guide to the Star Wars Universe. Now, dealing with this particular information, it says, I want to get this to you right now. I'm going to show you this. They deal with the Clone Wars, and they say the Clone Wars in here, they talk about it on the net now. A Clone Wars was a terrible war fought between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And in this stuff, they just, but there's a strange thing. They don't even really mention what the shit is. Now he's doing the first 3 trilogies, because they started from episode 4, 5, and 6. Episode 4 was Star Wars 1, 5 was Empire Strikes Back, and 6 was Return of the Jedi. So the first 3 trilogies he's doing now, the first one is due out in 98 or even 99. But the key is dealing with this Clone Wars. Now, this is what actually went on. In 1976, after Elijah Muhammad died in 1975, in 1976, another cracker wrote a book called Elijah in 1976, and we had this bicentennial party. Big party. Richard Pryor put out Bicentennial Nigger and all that. At this particular time, the next year, they started the Clone Wars. They started the Clone Wars. And the 20-year anniversary, I'm trying to tell you this. Listen to this. If you get Vera Stanley Alder's book, Finding of the Third Eye, someplace up in there she is quoting that in the last days, the black people's third eye will open. Sometime in the late 80s, early 90s. But at least by now, everybody's third eye is supposed to open. Now listen to this, because this is very key that you understand this. And this is the mark on whether I'm telling the truth or not. It's in her book, it's in Mary Holt's book, Practical Egyptian Magic. And the book says that there is a time capsule program with the old ones that will be triggered, and we will get the knowledge of the old ones, which is talking about the pineal gland and the third eye opening up in the last days. In another book called Kundalini for a New Age, just remember that, it says there are devices in the body that will come online or on program when the race is nearing extinction. In Murray Holt's book, Ancient Egypt, Sirius Connection, or it's called the Sirius Connection now, it says, in the chapter on the lion power, it says that the cat lion crystal gene, and this, they're just talking about, they got all these fancy names for melanin, and how this shit is going to come online. They're getting it from the Rosicrucian Cosmos Conception, which is an old book, kind of racist, but in the book it bears witness that the pineal glands will open up in the last days. As well as Mark Balfour's book, Sign of the Serpent, Key to Creative Physics. Anytime you hear the word creative physics, that means melanin. And it says, based on a team of scientists in 1988, that the Kundalini has started opening up in people on the planet, which is your energy, which is your third eye energy. It opened up in white people, but they burn up because they don't have a third eye, so when they get up there, they double back and they catch on fire. Internal combustion. But it said the Kundalini energy would be opening up. Now this is the key. There's several books out on this that bears witness to this. as well as biblical texts and all kind of ancient texts you can get on how we would be. There's a book called Prisms of Lyra, and it said that the Syrians, which is us, got the last laugh. They put a genetic time capsule in the Syrian people, which is us, that will open up, and it'll be triggered when the acceleration of evolution is triggered, and the vibratory rate rises, this thing will trigger, and we will eat from the tree of life, which means you would be coming back to your God self. Now, let's deal with the doggone investigative reporting here. How many people have been conscious or somewhat into this within the last 7 years? How many people have been getting into some type of consciousness or been searching for, not longer, but let's say since 1990? Yes. As you know, with the Afrocentric movement and a couple of things, it seemed like 3-4 years ago you had more black conscious people than you have now. That's right. That's right. Black people losing their damn mind and ain't complaining about shit. Just taking it and going back to Jesus. Like a nigga from 1930. Ain't got a bitch. All you unlearned. And conscious people. Now this is the key on what I'm trying to say here. If the science in the book The Finding of the Third Eye and all these particular science have come down and said that the third eye was supposed to open in the late 80s and the early 90s. But yet we're in 1997 and seem like there are more dead people than it is conscious. It's almost like you all alone out this shit now. That's right. Well, something had to happen for the damn third eye not to open up. Now, what I'm saying to you is to imagine within the last 20 years or so that the United States government had come in and literally replaced our race with a clone race. No, I ain't talking about no some motherfuckers. I'm telling you that what if 88% of everybody you see is some form of a damn robot or something? This is some real shit. Now don't get all alarmed because I'm explaining this thing to you in a few minutes on what the hell is going on. They have come and they are killing about 2,000 black people a day in cloning centers all around the country. Very key that you understand this. But that's all good. Because in the Gospel of Thomas, they say when you seek knowledge and you find what you seek, you're supposed to be disturbed. But when you are disturbed, start rejoicing because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Now when they gave me this revelation, I swear to God, and I saw this shit, I said, can't nothing be as bad as this. That the only reason why you're here today, and it's just a few of us in the United States, and the third eye, first of all, your third eye is open. For the mere fact that your third eye was not open, you would not be into this shit. You would reject it flat out. That's what the third eye is, your awareness of this thing and your hunger for it. That's why you up in this shit on a Saturday night. Yes. You see? Yes. Your God self hasn't set in yet, but your third eyes are open. You just don't know it is such a natural process. The perception. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all those people, most of the people you see out there are robots. And that's what the guy in the THX movie was saying. Now THX is Lucas sound. It is on the end of all movies now. Yes. And he's the new rich man. Yes, yes, yes. So they put out this movie to celebrate 20 years of the Clone Wars. We're talking about some crazy shit, but that's good because it means that because it's not meant for you to survive in the physical, no way. That's right. It's meant for your soul to go into another dimension and get off this sector. And I'm saying we're close with this shit. We are so close with this thing so it can be tomorrow. We got to always say this because I'm telling you it's very close. Now listen to this. Huh? You listening? Yes. I'm telling you. Let's look at this. Look at this. What they had to do what they had to do is this. In the 1960s, 1940s, 1950s, after they learned how to do this cloning, they realized that somewhere in the 1980s that the energy would get so bad until they would not be able to live on the earth with a lot of melanated people, at least not in America. Okay. The Clone Wars is now shifted from this shit and it's over in Africa now. So all the people that's killing each other is clones because they're cloning them up. So what's the ultimate weapon? To kill people and still have them here. And you do it through the church, you do it through the hospitals, and now most of your organizations are clone organizations. And that's what really, you say, but really these marches is a tracking device to see how many people are here and what the conscience is, and they put on all this type of stuff. I'm telling you, this is some real deal shit. Y'all can believe it or let it alone. But listen to this. They had this sector right here. They could no longer live on this sector anymore with the melanated people. So in order to live based on the energy, they had to transfer you out of this sector, or in this case, let's put it this way. Let's back this up. Because you ain't up, you down. It's in another dimension. Well, basically, let's do it this way. This is the sector that they had that you were in, called the earth. They had to transfer you from this sector to another alternative sector, same earth, but the spiritual earth, the one that's actually on the inside of this earth. The only one that was left down here was very, very advanced souls that is getting this shit now. Because you got to blow them up. You got to kill them on this sector before you leave your physical body and join the rest of the motherfuckers and glorify them. So we get in on the killing, but they get in on the killing too because the force is all around us and they become a part of you. So every black person they kill makes you stronger because that person is a part of you because it's the same force and they're actually living with you. They're the same force and you can tap into it. They are you now. You get this what I'm saying? They couldn't live, so they transferred you into this sector, and that was the big black thing Hale Bach was talking about that was over the earth, that was big as the earth. But the key is, they have come in, and now, what you don't understand is, there ain't nobody really out there. Most of the people you see is robots. The classic example, go get the 1956 version or the 1978 version. And it's the classic example, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's what we're talking about here. That is it to the T, and that's what you got to understand. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is actually what's going on at this particular time. And so basically what I'm saying is the horror is that you basically are the only ones here. And the only ones other than that is the ones that basically bear witness to this stuff at this particular time. It's kind of lonely, but that's cool. That's cool because now the ultimate reality is here. But all you got to do, but it's bear witness in also the dark crystal. When they kill them all off, and when they kill them all off, in the Star Wars they killed off all the Jedi Knights. Remember? That was the Clone War. And the word Jedi Knights come from the word Jedi Bindu. It's an Indian word which means black doctor, Bindu seed. Jedi Bindu. If you want to learn some more stuff, you got to go and get the vision behind the man's work in Star Wars, the annotated scriptures, where he gives you the several drafts of what he did to put it in the movie. And he said he got the whole movie from 40-something mythological books, including the book A Hero of a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. You see what I'm saying? Which is all about the head roof story. So now, they killed them all off. They killed them all off in the Dark Crystal also, too. And all. So now, what we're talking about here is we have been hit so hard. What has happened is this. The white boy understood that in the 1960s, that the energy of the black man, whether you marching or whether you're in the nation or whatever you was doing, was so strong to the energy even took his kids over and they like they got away from him with the hippie thing and the Vietnam protest thing and Kent State. You see what I'm saying? And Attica and that whole 9 yards. So what the deal was, they just sat back and said, we're just going to cool it for a minute. But the key is when they came back out, they're somewhere in the year 2025, and we are back there in 1969 in our thinking. You understand what I'm saying? The rest of the people. So therefore, if you're in 1969, and he is doing a war that is only proportion of something in the space age with the clone thing and don't tell you about it, you'll never perceive the shit. So now the multiculturalism is fine because they done got all the people that's danger to them out of this sector, or so they think. Because it never said that it was going to be the masses of the people. It said it's a select few, but you don't have to worry because they didn't kill them. They just ultimately released the souls in where we're going in the touchdown place. Because energy cannot be destroyed.
That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's still a catch-22. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. You see. Make us more stronger and more powerful. You understand what's going on here?
Right.
So, dealing with that ultimate reality, that means that we are right in the hour of what is going on right now. And so what they are doing, this, I'm telling you, what I'm trying to tell you is this. This is just like a horror show. Everything out there is gone.
That's right.
There's no such thing as a black race no more. The only thing is the light bringers left down here because you were supposed to be the ones left behind in this sector to kill this beast and to end this shit. And it's got to go down soon. Because there's even a part in the Bible that says that don't go down soon, even the elect would be threatened. You see what I'm saying? And it's an ultimate reality, so it's got to go down soon. I'm telling you, this shit got to go down soon, and it will. When we go into the alchemical part, we'll understand some things when we go in that particular part. You want to take a break, or you want to keep on going, or what? Okay, let's deal with this thing. Let's deal with this. Dealing with the Kabbalistic part. You need to get this book, Kabbalah Exodus, is the book you need to get. Now, another book is, let me see if I got this book. On the Kabbalah and its Symbolism by Gershom Scholem, which, like I said, is one of the top crackers out of Tel Aviv that died in 1982. And we're going to deal with some stuff out of here because some very special things, especially what went down today. With this particular energy of this march is also talking about the Shekinah. Now, it also went down in 1984. In 1984, they dethroned Vanessa Williams from her post as Miss America, the first black Miss America, that they purposely knew she had been in the books before they even picked her.
That's right.
To dethrone her. That's the way they do shit. But they happened to dethrone her on July 23rd of 1994, which is the same time of the rising of the star Sirius, which is very key to understand that at this particular time. So they dethroned her, and also, but that represents also because the mystery of the Shekinah is the great mother, or the Mother Sophia, or the Mother Shekinah, which is supposed to be the Hebrew form, is supposed to be a feminine spirit that is in exile, and it is in exile. And this particular feminine spirit, we can't get to an earthly new condition until this particular feminine spirit that is exiled, until we get to that gate where that feminine spirit is. We know now that we are right at the gateway because you got a million damn black women marching and shit. It got to constitute for something. Yeah. The energy part, even the million man march. You look at the mundane part, all kind of shit just got to transpire to get to them. But remember, anything that is happening down here is backfiring on the cracker.
That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So for whatever reason, what made the march transpire today, that is the 50 gates of that particular feminine energy coming back out of exile. Now let me go into some of this so you can understand some of this at the particular time. it says that the symbolism of Adam's banishment from paradise in human history begins with the origin of exile. Again, the sparks of the Shekinah, which is the black dot in you also, to melanin, are everywhere scattered in exile, are everywhere scattered among the spheres of the metaphysical and the physical existence. But not all. Adam's great soul, in which the entire soul substance of mankind is concentrated, has also scattered. The first man, which his vast cosmic structure shrinks to his present dimension, and the sparks of Adam's soul and the sparks of the Shekinah are dispersed and fall and go into exile, where they will be dominated by the shells, which is your physical body. So you fell into a physical body, which is the shells, which is an illusion that don't exist no way.
That's right. Jack.
That's what the shell is. This is on page 115 in this particular book, Kabbalah and its symbolism. Adam's soul is the masculine half, which is Horus or Heru. Shekinah's soul is the spiritual half, which is Isis, Ma'at. Mainly Ma'at will be Sophia in Gnosticism. In Gnosticism, the world of nature is called, and the shells are called the Kalipos. The world of nature and the human existence is the scene of the soul's exile. Now, you get that? It says that the human realm, the higher, hell, is the scene of the soul's exile. You see, right here, bear witness that this is hell. No place up under the ground.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, let's go on. Deal with some things to cover. It says on page 73 in this particular book, this is a very good book to get. It's one of his better books because it's one of the few books that he got. His stuff is very hard to read. It says that the infinite and the transcendent Godhead, which is your head, is both hidden essence, which is melanin, and when it first, through the revealing of the infinite power, it means that the hidden essence in this particular part of the Godhead is actually melanin. In this particular part about the Godhead, you've been hearing people talk about the Godhead. The Godhead means the star head are the ones with the head of God, which is the melanated heads of the black dot seeds, of the black dot seeds, is what it's talking about. Now, on page 91, it says in here, on page 91, it says that the tree of God, which is the body of God, which is the tree of the whole world, but at the same time, the tree of souls is spoken in the other fragments of Behar. And it says, in this passage, however, it is not represented as some type of something planted by God. It is the mystical structure of God's power. But it says that this particular tree is inside of us. This mystical God's power is inside of us. Now, this is still just going back to this particular part. And when we get into the real part of this particular part on what we have to actually do is just basically it's a thought pattern that clicks and turns this whole thing around. Is the way you view shit. That turns this whole thing around is the way you view things. Look, go get the movie Doom. How many people saw the movie Doom? And I got everything in the movie, but I was still trying to find out what the hell was the water of life. Remember that? What was the water of life? I was still trying to find out what the hell was that. That is the key to the whole movie. In this particular part, let me get this right. In this particular part, let's see what page is that on. Basically, it says that God, through the water increases the power of the tree. The tree is the physical body, but it's actually the chakra systems and all that in the body. And what is God's water? It is Hakma, wisdom. That is the tree that is, i.e. the tree of life, the soul of the righteous, who flies, and the source, which is very key when I go into what we need to do. We was trying to find out what the hell is this water of life is doing. And the water of life is just knowledge, gnosis, divine knowing. And one illuminates itself through the divine knowing. Very key that you understand that. When we go into how this thing works in the alchemical terms of the divine knowing, of the divine knowing and all. It says that the holy Israel banks occupies the crown and the heart of the tree. So Israel is us, Israel. And the crown, which is the crown chakra, and the heart of the whole tree that everybody's looking for is only occupied by Israel, which is us, the God man or the God people, is what this particular part is talking about. Also, one of the other fruitful and multiplies. The first one was fruitful and multiply on the physical. The second one is fruitful and multiply in pouring into this other dimension that we have to occupy. This particular sector, you understand what I'm saying? This particular sector, but it has to be occupied by us. That's the amenta that has to be radiated, is that particular part. But also in this book, it talks about, this Gershom Schulem's book, it talks about evil that comes from the north, that keeps us in bondage, which is talking about the damn white man. Is what this particular part is actually talking from. But it also says that in the end, God will emerge from the hidden body of the tree, which is also talking about all of his white boys come in and done a job. He is so arrogant now that he really don't think that nothing here can do. And that's the beauty of it all. The beauty of it all is, remember in Star Wars, the Emperor, the third trilogy, he said, the third part, he said, your own arrogance or your own confidence is going to be your undoing. So this cracker now got everybody, he got all the world leaders hanging on a damn string. And he just don't think that there's nothing out here that can defeat that. But he don't really understand it's alchemical. Ain't got shit to do with no army or no outside force or none of that type of shit. It's springing up out of us. Right. But his own arrogance is going to actually kill him. Now the Shekinah, which is very interesting because we understand that you got they call it in Hebrew the Adam, then they say, but the Shekinah has to follow, which is the feminine essence. Then you have the Eon of Osiris, the Eon of Horus, which is the same thing, and it's double up, it's called Har, Ma, Ku. Word made truth, a word made flesh, a word made truth, which is a dual thing of both male and female when you're talking about the Christ energy. So you got one march is a male, the other march is female. Both, but in the Kabbalah, that's the same function on how it comes. First, the Christ energy on the male comes first, and then the Christ energy on the female comes second. You get it? So now, with this mystery of the Shekinah, now if you go get A.E. Waite's book, Holy Kabbalah, and in there, they talk about how Israel is in exile, but Israel cannot come out of his exile now that it hits the 50 gates of Shekinah. Moses went to 49 of these gates but failed to enter the 50 because basically they said he stopped sleeping with his wife or something like that. You see, it's based on, but in that book, A.E. Waite's Kabbalah, that's what they're talking about, coming from one earthly condition to another. Now, in your girl's book, Celestial Ship of the North, by Celestial Ship of the North, the book that was banned up until 93. What's the name of the girl? Stranton. Valencia strength. In there, on some of the, I think one of the parts, it reads that Africa, that we can't come into an earthly new condition until Saturn is bridged, which was bridged by the Dogon in Africa by the Africans, which was bridged by the Dogon in 1994. Saturn is also a form of the Shekinah because it's the spear of Bina at top, which is Saturn, and fell to Malkuth. And Malkuth is called the earth, but in some things they already call it now, they just call it Shekinah, the feminine realm that is waiting for her bridegroom. Now, listen to this. Shekinah is called the face of God. Also called in the Bible, also in the Bible, the face of God is called what? Pineal, pineal, the great face. Also Heru, or the hero in Greek, and the Heru in Egypt is also called the great face. So, this is the key. Shekinah, the feminine energy, has to be the pituitary gland, because harvest is the pineal gland, which is the penis. Remember, white people have a calcified pineal gland, which is called an uncircumcised penis in the Kabbalah, which is not talking about a circumcised penis of down here, which that's based on health reasons, and they do that based on rites of passage. But it's talking about you can't enter the kingdom of God without being circumcised. It's talking about an uncircumcised pineal gland, which is a calcified pineal gland, is what this thing is actually talking about. So now, the key is, the great faith in this particular book, Schroeder's Kabbalah, it says on page 107, it says this, and this is the key on what we got to understand, which we'll go into. It says that the very exile unto the children of Israel, when the Shekinah went with them. So the Shekinah has to be some kind of element inside of us that went with us. You see, went with them. Now listen. The Talmud means that the God's presence was always with Israel in its exile. The Kabbalah, however, it is taken to mean a part of God himself is in exile from God. Now that's the key to this whole shit that we're talking about here. If the great Shekinah is in us, and another thing they talk about, the great Metatron, which is a form of Heru in Hebrew, is also went with us in exile, which is all a form of God. So if this is God, this is the key on how we got to start thinking on the God realm. If this is God, and God goes into exile and breaks itself off into little pieces, you've seen me do this several times, is not this piece the same as this particular piece? If it breaks itself off into pieces, then that means that God, like the book said, is in exile from itself. Right? But this particular God is all of potential, but it's called the nothingness, and it can't do shit. It's a big pussy. Excuse the expression. You know what I'm saying on nigger talk when I say that. It's a chump. It can't do nothing. Why? Because it's the nothingness. It's the unmanifest. It's too bad. It has to express itself in us. Right. Which is called the Shekinah, the Metatron, and it was in exile. So now, we understand that this particular part is in exile when it meets its bridegroom. When did it meet the bridegroom? Well, it has to come to the bridegroom. We had 2 marches, one male, one female. And even though you got the physical shit, you got the physical thing, don't look at it. You got to look at the energy and the current. You carry a whole bunch of current. I don't give a damn how many people out there. There's still live people, or the living essence up in there. It don't matter if it's 2 or 3 people. It don't take but a damn spark, because all these are sparks. That's what the Shekinah is, the divine spark. You get it?
Yes, check.
So God is in exile from itself, which means hell, the God was with you the whole time.
That's right.
When you were in exile.
That's right.
So the mystery is, the Hebrew thing said when we disobeyed God, we was chastised. But it wasn't talking about no God up there. It was talking about your higher self, which is God. It is the same old simplistic thing. Even when you fuck up, the first thing you say is, damn, I started to do that shit some other way. Something told me to do it this way. That's your own higher self. So when you disobeyed God, you disobeyed your higher self or your true self. Then you was chastised. You see, so you got all these groups out here saying we fell because we disobeyed God. Well, if you talk about that, it's basically talking about we fell for the simple fact, in a metaphysical term, because we became more aware of the physical senses and start thinking that that was us. But that ain't all of us. We started thinking that was us. No, that's just the shell that occupies the God that's in exile.
And what you're saying right there, see, on the other side right there?
Yeah.
Right there, the other part of that unmanifest, that was Eden.
It's
That
called
was the
Eden.
perfection of Eden. And then man, when Adam was kicked out of Eden, that was the exile of God. When God exiled himself.
And the Eden was called, in this book, in this book, the Kabbalah Unveiled, it's called Eden, but it's also called the destroyed kingdom.
As far as, yes.
The destroyed kingdom. There's a destroyed kingdom, and then there's a rebuilt kingdom.
Right.
There's a rebuilt kingdom. And there's a rebuilt kingdom. So that's exactly what it's actually talking about. Now, I want to deal with something right now. Something that's very interesting and something that's very, that we got to deal with the melanin thing, because we got to change this whole thing around on what we're dealing with here. And that is, the best thing to symbolize it is you go and get the little Gotia book, Gotia. And this is what this thing is actually talking about here. The mystery of the higher self, or the holy guardian angel, which is your higher self, is also called Agathadamian. You thinking these shits is some old scary stuff and all this type of stuff. That's what the whole Pope and the whole war in the church turned against things with this whole Christian symbolism and this whole thing and made everything negative. It's called Agathadamian. And this is what it's called. And this word is the true meaning of what the word demon means. Now, like it or not, we all come hardwired with a complete 12, with complete set. 12 six-packs. The Gothic demons, your first one is the angels, the light form. But this is something different. This is not talking about good or evil. This is talking about polarities here. So we're talking about the God shit now. We're not talking about mortals. We're talking about immortals. In the Gospel of Peter, in the Gnostic scriptures, they say that the earth is occupied by two people, the mortals and the immortals. The mortals to the immortals, they live in a hostile situation, separated, and a hostile situation, and the world is hostile. But both the mortals and the immortals differ from one single essence. You know what that essence is? Melanin. That's the essence, which they show you on the dark crystal when they take the damn essence. The melange, the spice. The spice must flow. The Gothic demons, they are units of the untamed natural forces within ourselves that we have ignored. We have ignored based on fundamentalism. It's told you that the true melanin essence is negative. That we have ignored, denied, and disowned. They surface to work their mischief when our will is ambiguous and our resistance is low. after you have committed an embarrassing act of the unbelievable stupidity, you are really referring to them when you slap your forehead and say, I am my own worst enemy. As long as they are ignored, they are uncontrolled, and they are dangerous as hungry beasts in an abandoned zoo. Now, what we're talking about here, we're talking about your true essence. You work through chaos. And what we're talking about is a thought pattern here, so you can get past going to go to your books and going in and doing some damn ritual. All rituals are abrogant. That's what it says in the doggone book of law. They are defunct. It's a thought process on what the hell we talk about, and that's the divine alchemy. Now, what they mean is this. It's simple on what you have to do. A lot of it is just studying. The first thing, what's the big problem that the Christian, or what you call Orthodox religions, they say that God gave us truth, and then the devil came in and said, let's organize that motherfucker, and they call it religion. What's the main thing that differs between the ancients? The main thing that they say is the pagan, which means the people, or the pagan means the man without a religion. You damn right, we didn't have no fucking religion. That's what pagan means. A people without a religion. No, they didn't have no fucking religion. They had something, we don't even know what to call this shit. Say, we call that motherfucker I am that I am, which is science. It's science. So what do you call it? Say, I call it I am that I am, because when you put a title on some shit,
You limit it.
you limit it. So, the main thing that the Christian religion and all the other Orthodox religions, they say that the ancient man was worshiping many gods and all kind of philosophy and mythology. It says but your mind is not one single unit. When you put your mind on one single unit, you shut your mind down. The melanin is multidimensional, multi-mythological, and it is called what? Chaos. And what is chaos? Chaos, what is chaos? Read something to you. Chaos is also called the black. It's called the black.
Perfect black.
The perfect black, which is chaos. Richard King even told you that melanin was called chaos. So now, if you got something that looks like this, the worst thing you can do is to give it one objective point like this. Because you can't tap into this. This is multidimensional, multi-layered, chaos, multi-layered. In order to really understand this, you got to give it all the principles. The 4 elements, the 72 demons, the 72 archangels. This is a very good book. When I was reading about the demons, in this particular book, just to show you a scale. The book just came out a week ago. I stole it the other day. It says, here's the angels, 72 angels, which is 72 components of your doggone mind. Right, tetragrammatons. Here's 72 demons. The damn white Jew didn't show you this shit. But he don't show you the 72 demons because they burn up if they fuck with this shit. Just like a little white girl sitting in the house, they had her on the news last summer. They came to the house, the little girl on Fountain Research, and I should just sitting on the floor. She just playing with them damn blocks, and I just saw her, she just caught on fire. Burnt the fuck up. Little 3-year-old white girl, that shit was like the summer solstice. She caught the wrong ray. Fucked around on her. So we talking about the demon here. This is the melanin freaky. You notice they got it in black. The name of this book is called Gods and Demons, Angels and Demons, and Gods of the New Millennium by Milo Duquette. Lon Milo Duquette. L-O-N Milo Duquette. D-U-K-U-E-T-T-E. Duquette. Anyway, he's a Thalemite. But anyway, he's done a good job because of the simple fact. See, you know, like I said, we talked about this last night. The New Age people, if you don't have no Afrocentric background or been in some shit, you would think this shit came from fucking Switzerland or some shit. They don't put no color to it or nothing. Shit should be right in the middle of damn Africa.
Right.
The only enigma that fucked them up is they didn't cut Africa or Egypt off from Africa. And that shit fucking them up. The good part about it is in the book of Enoch it says, in the last part of the book of Enoch it said this. They said they got people that write lies on you. But in the last days there's going to be a few people that's going to write the truth. And when they write the truth, I beg you not to disown it. I beg you to read that particular information, even the enemy who writes the truth. So we're talking about the actual enemy. So in here he has a diagram of the Taurian age, the age of Aries, and the age of Aries, but he has right here the Egyptian civilization 4000 BC. And right here he has another one, the Egyptian civilization, that says that the solar code of Isis and Osiris was down here. There was another age up here. But the mere fact that the damn prophet is putting Egypt before Babylon, Samaria, and all that, which all that was damn black. But the mere fact that he's doing that, and he don't disrespect this by putting Jesus down here on this page. He's saving for another damn chart somewhere else in the book. Jesus and then they'll start to another chart way down here. You see. So I say, well, every now and then I give praise to one that damn tell the fucking truth. You see what I'm saying? Like it was actually prophesied. Now going back to this, if you're looking at a certain point, and that's the problem with even the black Afrocentric and conscious groups. One thing about the cracker, he studies it all. He said, shit ain't none of that my culture. Let them bastards argue whether they Moors, and whether they Islam, and whether they Hebrews, and whether I'm all kind of shit, and you don't understand that you ain't none of that. You are that you are. And when you put a name on it, that's just a dispensation of time that you call yourself that. But even the people back then didn't really recognize themselves as being this and a different group. So now we got all these splinter groups, and one thing about the white boy, how he ruled our ass. That motherfucker study everything.
Fragments.
It's all in fragments at this particular time, so there is no ultimate truth. That's the thing what happened with a brother named Wise. The brother was down there, and he was in the nation. But he wanted to show that the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad was true and exact, and just like a Christian. That it was, I said, wait a minute, Elijah Muhammad, he's getting, a lot of this shit is mythological because he's trying to give you a point. It's a principle more than it is verbatim. You see what I'm saying? Just like all mythology, everybody got a single mythology because ultimately there ain't no such thing as truth. That's putting the label on the shit. You can't put a name to this. That's why the mythological components of a multi-dimensional deity was the true and exact way, because that's the way you tap into the fucking melanin.
That's right.
By not being sectarian.
That's right.
Dealing with one phase of shit. I'm just Islam. Well, shit. You just may not be nothing. Or I'm just Christian. So now we got people. I don't want to deal with nothing but the ancient Egyptian. What the fuck is that? That's in fragments.
That's right.
That's in fragments. If you want, I'm gonna tell you, if you want to get the true stuff on ancient Kemet, because with a little bit of stuff we got by the Greeks. What's the cat that wrote it? Say the name of the cat.
Massey?
No, not Massey. I'm talking about this ancient Greek writers. Plutarch wrote the histories of Isis and Osiris, and a lot of other stuff. And we got Herodotus, but we got Plutarch. Is one of the ones, Plutarch. But the point I'm trying to make is, they just didn't have no one religion there. It was a library of multi-different dimensions. They just don't let you know that if you go there, they got Hebrew writings on the same damn temple walls. But it's government policy not to show you that shit.
Right.
They got damn Sumerian writing, and it was a big main library because no one mythology is exact truth. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at it on a sectarian way, you shut down the melanin. And anybody that study, you'll know this. One damn day, for the people that's into this God's library, 1 week you'll be into one thing, you can't get enough of it, and the next week, your mind will have you on something else. That's the way melanin does. It don't keep you on one point all the time because it's chaos.
Yeah.
And that's how the mind works. That's how the mind works. How can you explain jazz? You can't do it based on intellectualizing it. You understand? So this is the concept on what we're talking about here, on this multi-deity. So when you have the, so what's happened is this. Because we don't deal with mythology, that's more advanced than basically the ancient religious scriptures. You see what I'm saying? Because that was broken down. Because we don't deal with the mythological functions, we don't tap into the other aspects of melanin. So therefore, the cracker, who ain't got nothing but a surface bit, just enough to live on the damn planet, he got his kids looking at 3 volumes of Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit, which is the Twa Man, Lord of the Rings, which is the whole Jesus trilogy. The Star Wars trilogy came from Joseph Campbell's book, A Hero of a Thousand Faces, as well as The Dark Crystal, which Gary Kurtz, who produced The Dark Crystal, produced Star Wars. Frank Oz is the man behind Yoda, produced The Dark Crystal with Jim Henson. It's all one network. Threw in down Steven Spielberg, who told both of them, they told Star Wars to go get John Williams for the fucking soundtracks. They said, get him, don't put that other bullshit. Give it a classical score because the Moors introduced classical music to Europe.
Right.
And the cracker was too fucked up to play the harp, so they took a damn harp and turned it rectangle and made a goddamn piano out of the shit. You see? So, the mythology, which Frank Herbert studied Sufism for 7 years and released Doom on the birthday of Emancipation Proclamation, 1965, which is the greatest one of all time science fiction novel of all time, which doggone George Lucas bought his shit from.
That's right.
Frank Herbert's Doom. So now we're dealing with the mythological things, and this is one part on how the gods work. So basically, to break this down on layman's terms, you everything and you all that.
Yes.
And
And a bag of chips.
And that. Even go read some damn fairy tales.
That's right.
Folklore of the Old Testament. You see what I'm saying? The mythological part of the golden bowl that we talk about, which is the Christ realm, but which we talk about the mythological realm and what we're dealing with here. So now, dealing with these particular demons, because I knew it when the brother called about 2 years ago, and he had the little the keys of King Solomon. That book. Now it's interesting because anytime they got the book, the keys of King Solomon, but yet they'll say this came from an unknown origin. This showed up in Europe. Ain't nothing just showed up in Europe. That's the shit from the Moors. You see. And in there, he said, I'm confused because they're talking about these demons up in here. And the Spirit said, them ain't demons. It's just like, it's the same thing I've been teaching for the last couple of years. And the Western man don't understand. You see this here on the bottle, the skull and the crossbones in the bottle. It's not to be looked at as evil, it just means that it's more potent. So the demon shit, we talking formulas. If you go into the occult, they don't even recognize this shit as God. They say formulas, frequencies, energies, science, the elementals. You understand what I'm saying? So this doesn't mean it's evil. That's the dumbass Pope of Rome and fucking Constantine who killed his fucking mama.
And his wife.
And his wife. This bastard is the father
Of Christianity.
of Christianity. He's the one that gave Christians the right to exist so that they can take that shit and bring it into a crusade and all that shit and later top of Rome. That motherfucker killed his goddamn wife. A murderer. And his damn mama. Ain't that a bitch? The father of Christianity. They knew that this was not. They know that this was not talking about evil. They just meant that this is the most powerful shit. And what it really means is the only motherfuckers to deal with it is you. Because I swear, I done did every damn satanic ritual that they said, and all this damn shit, and I be mad, because it don't work. And the spirit say, man, it don't work, but that's your essence. Fuck you gonna damn get some feeling of shit that you feel since you been born.
That's right.
Now if you was a white motherfucker, you'd burn up.
You burn the fucker out.
It only becomes evil because the wrong people using it.
It's evil for them.
Oh man, this stuff, man, ain't nothing changed. I'm still in hell. All the so-called ritual and all the shit, they say you gotta be careful. I did all that stuff. You know, the best result I ever got was cussing the damn old reaching out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And they went like, okay, now you our boy.
Right.
Go with your game. They had me beat down, I couldn't get nothing. Damn went. Got kicked out the apartment. Boom, cut off the damn motherfucker, hit our car in the back, we on the bus, all that shit. Damn. I said, what the hell going on? And they say, look, man, like I said, the same story. They say, look, you are going to another dimension. You can't call on us in the same way that you did when you was motherfucking ignorant. Your soul is the same as ours. It's just in the physical body. You in that realm, we in this realm. It's just energy. The energy cannot be destroyed.
That's right.
And change. It can be transferred. It's just like a fucking damn extension cord. Put it for one thing, it's just the juice. They say, so you're supposed to know better now. So now you can't call on us that kind of way and all this kind of thing here. And so when I get mad, I say, fuck you, damn leg bar. You a chicken shit motherfucker. And the spirit said, the leg bar said, now you talking. Because who is a leg bar? I'm a leg bar.
That's right. That's right.
Going down and down. You say stuff about those shoes, you get fucked up. I said, fuck those shoes. I said, why? Because I'm on shoes.
That's right.
It's the voice. Star Wars told you that. It's the voice and it binds us together. It's not the voice in my body the same as the voice you talk about on some Netherlands or the Netherlands and all that shit. It's all one. So I said, goddamn it, I'm on shoes.
That's you.
That's the same thing when I was when the sister got off the mound. And we were channeling the brotherhood of Melchizedek. And the spirit just came to me. I said, y'all a bunch of goddamn women. And Melchizedek said,
Thank you.
you got it. We like your ass.
That's right.
Because I can say that because we talk about energy. Even the feminine principle is just one part of the soul, of the polarity, which is all one. So I say, y'all a bunch of hoes. I said, y'all a bunch of hoes. I said, yeah, you got it. I talk to them that way, and that's when I get the results. Because what we're talking about now is being on the God realm. So now the demons, same thing came. Brother called me and said, man, I've been very advanced. I was born with a veil over the eye. That's the southern word for you big time psychic. Oh, that's just the black word, period. I was born with a veil. So I had these about 4 demons chasing me all my life. And I done been to psychics all up and down the world. The brother told me I done been all over. He said, and I was in the army, I went to all kind of people, and they was telling me all kind of ways to get rid of them. And he said, man, I said, man, them ain't no damn demon. I said, them your motherfucking boys. Maybe them the boys, then somebody's trying to, and that night he tapped me, he said, yeah, he said, they came to him and said, man, we used to hang out in Atlantis together. You reincarnated, and we was boys. We stayed in the other spiritual realm in this incarnation. And we've been trying to get in contact with your ass since you've been back on the earth as a little boy. But you was all scared of us. You see. And that's the key, because Christianity, because he's an Orthodox Muslim. You see. Which is the same shit. You're going to get burnt either way. Jumping from the damn pot to the frying pan, as Dr. Ben said, you're going to get burnt anyway. So we talk about another type of consciousness on the way you're dealing with the shit. So now we're talking about straight up God school. God school is what we're talking about here. Now, Alistair Crowley says, and I want to read this to you, this is very profound here. It says, it is the demons that the God that redirected that, it is the demons of the Damians, the demons. See, what it is, we got a lot of words now that has been twisted. It's like the love thing we was talking about last night. One thing about it, is they talking about passion. That's what the real love is. If you're going to be into something, be good at it. Really, you got to be a passion. Because we talking about energy. So there is no moral code when it comes to get morals. We done got somebody else's book or somebody else damn teaching. It's a passion. Only thing the Bible says, it talks about the damn lukewarm motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And the lukewarm is a principle. That's the love that they're talking about. Don't be in no shit just running your mouth and you don't have a passion for nothing. Be real. That's what the nigga's saying now. Keep it real. That's what the love is talking about. You see what I'm saying? Even on another level, on the God level, if you're going to be a goddamn killer, be an expert at it. I'm not talking to the masses of the people. I'm talking about immortals where there is no such thing